I am Yvonne Mason, and with me is Mary Brotherton. We host, she's no longer a co host, we host All Things Books and Publishing. Our publishing house is called Midnight Publishing, and we do something nobody out in the publishing world does. We publish our authors at no cost. And y'all going, yeah, what's the hook? There's no hook. All we ask is a few simple guidelines that you follow a few of our requirements, you help us promote, and that you please, please, please don't listen to armchair quarterbacks.
Oh my gosh.
Take it and
I
run with
got
it,
an
Mary.
email yesterday. I made a post about, I think I did a live on it because I wanted to promote today's show. I cannot tell you guys, I don't care if it's your mother, your brother, your cousin, or some stranger who I have no idea where they find me from. I had to ask this one woman 3 times, and I even told her on the last one, I said, you failed to answer my question, so I'm going to ask you one last time, which will be my third time. How did you find me? Well, she claims she saw me on Facebook. Well, Lottie frickin' da. I don't have $500 or $600 to give her to do what Yvonne is doing for free. And I shouldn't just say Yvonne, because I know I'm part of this whole thing too. I help promote all the other authors, and it's my privilege and my joy, just like it's Yvonne's. We have both been blessed so much in our lives, but also in our writing journey. So we give back, we pay forward. And I get these emails from these yahoos who are very generic. And sometimes they'll even call me the wrong name. Sometimes they will use the wrong book. And then, like yesterday, I just had this generic email saying, oh, you are such a creative writer. I love everything you've done. Can you tell me some more? Can you send me a link to your book? I got 6 of them. Which link do you want? It's not like I'm just this country bumpkin who fell off the truck yesterday. Fell off the truck the day before yesterday. But still, don't be coming to me with all your flowery words and telling me how wonderful you think I am unless you've bought my book already. Go buy my book, leave a review, then maybe we can talk about purchasing your services. Probably not.
Maybe.
But yeah.
Maybe.
Like I was just telling Yvonne before the show started, I just put, Faith and Folly just released, what, 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
And my husband was out talking to one of the neighbors, and she said, oh, tell Mary I'm halfway finished with her book. I'll probably finish it tonight. And he asked her, well, when did you buy it? She said it arrived in today's mail. I mean, who does that? So she bought the book, didn't even tell me she was ordering it off Amazon, and she's reading it. She may or may not give me a review. She's the woman who read Steep Steps when I published it a year ago myself, and now it's with Midnight Publishing. She's the woman who said it needs to be on every college campus. She hasn't written a review that says that because she doesn't know how. Whatever. I'll take it, but it still makes a great story.
Well,
But back to you, Yvonne.
the thing is, what we do here is I treat every author like I wanted to be treated when I first started by a publisher. I treat every author like I treat myself, and that is, do you want your book to blend in, or do you want to stand out from the crowd? And Mary knows I asked that question because I've asked her that question when I've
Yep.
changed a book cover. There are millions of books out there. There are millions of children's books out there. As a children's author, you have to be able to stand out from the crowd or you're going to get lost in the crowd. And when I am asked to change a cover because some armchair person, quarterback, whatever you want to call them, wants to give their feedback and say, well, I don't like the cover because I want to blow my top. We are not catering to one or two people. We are catering to millions of people.
We, Yvonne and I have been in the business long enough. We know the industry. I've been a publisher. I've been an editor. I've been an author. I've been a reader. And I know other editors, authors, publishers, and readers. And we know the statistics. We know the lingo. We know the demographics. And we know that you cannot listen to one or two people. Because those one or two people, God love them. God bless them. Bless their little hearts. They don't even know it. But they are secretly sabotaging you. Because
Absolutely.
you've done something they only dreamed of doing. People, not everybody can write a book. Not everybody, I mean, everybody can. It's possible. But not everybody will, because writing a book takes time, it takes dedication, it takes a certain skill level, it takes a certain amount of knowledge. And then, fortunately, it takes Yvonne and Midnight Publishing. I mean, holy moly, y'all. Go to Midnight Publishing right now. Well, no, listen to the podcast first. But after the podcast, go to Midnight Publishing. Check out the videos that she has created. I just made a comment yesterday. She did her little videos. She was showing them. And I was thinking maybe in a month she might get around to giving me a couple of videos. There were two of them this morning, boom, boom, before I could even get my computer turned on. And they are so pretty. But let me tell you what, as much as I love my two little videos for Sally's Heart and Go With Angels, Yvonne just put one up for Errol's Journey. Now, I've forgotten who wrote that. Carol?
Bonnie Clark.
Bonnie Clark. It's a memoir. It's about her late husband. I'm still getting goosebumps. I kid you not. I'm not going to do like everybody else does. Oh, look, I got goosebumps. But you can't. You can see the hair standing up on my arm. But it is so beautiful. I only know the premise of the book. I know the blurb on the back. I haven't read the book yet. But that video,
Did it make you
It's-
want to read the book?
I can't wait. I'm going to be pre-ordering it. It's fantastic. I didn't even pre-order Murder in the Village, but I will be pre-ordering Errol's Journey
Did you see
because of the video. You are,
how many publishing houses offer that service?
they don't. They'll tell you, hey, we think you should get a video for your book. And we'll give you the name of 3 designers who can create this for you. You're going to have to pay for it out of your pocket, or it'll come out of your royalties.
Which is thousands of dollars.
Yes.
It,
What Yvonne has done, and now these videos aren't more than, I think, more than 10 seconds, 30
that's
seconds
it.
max.
It's like a 10-second ad on a TV or radio station.
It's absolutely astounding. And
Did you see the one I
critique here,
put up
my
for?
darling?
Did you see the one I put up for Cornfield Flyers?
Not yet. Oh, heaven's sakes.
Yeah, I put up the Cornfield Flyers of East Tennessee, and it shows children flying into the camera on paragliders, laughing. Just saying.
Ah, I'm going to have to go check that out now, too.
Wags is up
You're
there.
making it hard to do this video because I want to go check it all out.
Where's Wags is up there? Of course, Andrea's The Mercenary Files is up
Oh,
there. The goal
yeah, I
is
haven't been to Midnight Publishing yet today.
the goal is to put up every book that we have in our stable with a video. And I'm starting with the ones that are coming out that have just come out. Then I'm going to go back and do the ones that have been out. And then I'm going to put them up on YouTube, and then I can translate them over
Right.
into
Oh
a
my
video.
gosh, I can't wait to see the Ferryman video.
Yeah, it's germinating in my head. But this is what, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I do. I put up the one for Delilah the flamingo in her Christmas town. I put that one up first thing this morning because that book is coming out. And the thing is, this is not a job for me or for Mary. This is not a job. This is a passion. I don't work a day in my life because I'm passionate about what I do. And I treat my
I
author,
see your cornfield video. Oh my gosh! And wags! These are so cute!
I treat my authors the way I treat myself, and I have very high standards for my books. So if you come
That's
to
why you stay in the top 100. That's why people in France take your books and turn them into documentaries.
and translate them into French. Silent Scream has been
Uh-huh.
translated into French.
Curtis, Curtis might be coming to tell me to be quiet. He's working from home today. And
Mary
I
got
got
excited.
really animated and excited.
But ladies and gentlemen, please understand, if you can't trust my process, and I said this in my live this morning, if you cannot trust my process, then please don't come to me, because a lot of thought, a lot of heart, a lot of soul, a lot
A lot
of
of time.
passion and time goes into doing what I do for my authors. I love my authors. They are absolutely amazing. But if you cannot trust my process and you are swayed by armchair quarterbacks who Mary said are frustrated dreamers because they either don't have the courage, the tenacity, or the ability to not fear rejection, to do their craft,
Oh.
whatever that craft is, whether it's painting, music, writing, standing on their head, whatever their dream is, if they don't have the tenacity, the heart, the soul, and the lack of fear of rejection, they don't need to be in your circle, for one thing, because it's like Mary said, they are your saboteur. I grew up with an inward saboteur for many, many years. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You need to do it this way because this is what I like. Case in point, seventh grade, had to read in cold blood, had to do a book report. The teacher said, "Give me your opinion of which criminal is the most guilty." And she said, "Your opinion." I was 12 years old. I knew which criminal was the most guilty. And it was the one that refused to stop the murders in my mind. She said, "Oh no, that's not right. Excuse
Uh-uh.
me, it's my
Uh-uh.
opinion, not you." So I wrote that paper 3 times. And when I finally wrote the paper for her opinion, which were both criminals were equally guilty, that's when she accepted it. She was my
That
inner
is not
saboteur.
teaching.
No. So what I'm saying is, if you are one of my authors, I will go to the wall for you. I will work endlessly for you. I will keep you out there. Let me do my job. Don't come at me and say, "Oh, my feedback says such and such." I don't care what your feedback says. Your feedback is not the masses. Your feedback is one or two people who are frustrated. They will sabotage you because they don't believe in themselves.
And also, like I was saying earlier, I'm in the process of getting another children's book to Yvonne. Now, I design my own books. You look at Sally's Heart, you look at my Angel book, I created those images. Well, Sally's Heart was illustrated by Jay Satisavan, but I put the pages together, I sent them to Yvonne, she did what she had to do to get them on Amazon. So they're basically my work. But I also know that Yvonne has a vision for every book that she works on. So what I've done, or what I am doing, is I'm creating my vision for my new book, and I'm also giving her the images that I'm using. Now, some of the images I've fixed and doctored and added things to, but I'm sending her just the raw image, and she can add or subtract or whatever she wants. But she'll call me or text me and say, Mary, page 14 is not going to work. Can I have a go at it? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, she's going to have what I'm working with, but if she wants to run with something different in a different direction, when she sees what I've written, she's not going to change my words, but she may discard every one of my images and come up with something 1,000 times better. And I trust her for that. And I know that Yvonne doesn't mind if we help her with our images and we help her with our thoughts on how we want something to look, but we have to believe her when she says, I'll help you stand out from the crowd, not blend in. Faith and Folly. I had a clear idea of what I wanted. I think I had a clear idea. I had 5 ideas. And I sent her all 5. And she took one element of one of my ideas and she turned it into this magical cover. And I'm delighted because I probably would still not have Faith and Folly out there. And it's already selling. It's not just sitting in my head and on my computer. It's making 50 cents.
Actually, it's making a little bit more than that.
Yeah, maybe.
But the thing is, Vanity Presses, the Big Six, all the other publishers out there, because they don't take the time, they don't have the time, they don't want to make the time to treat each author like they are the only author they have. All they want to do is see bottom line because they're paying a graphic artist, they're paying an illustrator, they're paying an editor, they're paying a cover designer, they're paying a promoter, they're paying to keep the lights on, they're paying rent on their building, they're paying the press, they're paying the garbage man.
They're paying for billboards and radio ads and TV ads and Spotify ads because I hear them all the time.
Yeah, so they don't have time, nor do they want to take the time to get into their author's mindset and blend the two visions together. When an author tells me, make my name smaller on a book, that sends 2 signals to me. Number 1, that author does not believe in themselves. And number 2, they want to blend in. They don't want to stand out. If I'm giving someone a book idea, someone says, what kind of books do you read? What do you like? What's the name of the book? Who's the author? And I say, Silent Scream, for example. That's one of my true crimes. However, if you just type in Silent Scream and don't type in my name, there are 50 books out there with that title. How do you know which one? The author's name is as important as the title of the book. Sometimes
Absolutely.
more important. Because Mary, hold up Ken Follett's book again. If you type in Ken Follett on Amazon, all of his books are going to come up. See, do you see his name?
It's actually bigger than the title.
Exactly. And there's a reason for that.
I mean, he's a #1 New York Times bestseller according to the cover. But every book out there, look at this. My name is as big as the title.
It has
Because,
to be.
damn it, I'm important too.
There you go.
Now, I will say that for my children's books, it's a little smaller, but that's because children are reading this, not adults.
Right.
And it's fine, but I'll say also, if you look at this one, I made it very tiny. This was my second book. Didn't have the confidence then that I have now.
And I guarantee you, when I get this next children's book, her name's going to be even bigger.
Well, here's Faith and Folly. They're practically the same size. This
Correct.
might be a little bit smaller. But I know that my first book, Go With Angels, my name was tiny because I believed I was okay, but I wasn't there yet.
Yeah, the inner saboteur. So please, people, please trust the process of Midnight Publishing. I do not go willy-nilly into this endeavor. I do not. It is important to me. And it's like Mary said, people were so kind to me way back when, and so kind to her, and I don't charge because God just keeps blessing me on many, many levels. Case in point, and I know I talk about her, and y'all think she's the only one I got, but she is a prime example of watching someone's life do a complete 180. When I first met,
I know who you're talking about.
When I first met Sherry Ann Richardson, if she could have gotten any deeper in that pit of despair, she would have, and pull the dirt in after her. When I started this business, she came to me and said, Yvonne, I've got a book. It's been sitting on the shelf for 25 years. What do you think? Will you do it? I said, sure, send it. Bless her heart, she didn't know how to send it like I needed it, which was fine. I got through it. It was her, The Chocolate Lover's Garden. Huge book. She wanted it coffee table size, did that, put it in hardcover, paperback, Kindle, on Audible, and got it out there. As soon as she got that book in her hand and the first picture she put up, I'm saying to myself, who is this person and what have you done with Sherry? Because it was like the light bulb went off.
Exactly.
She is doing events. She is.
And if you go on Sherry's.
Do what? You're freezing.
She is out there.
She is.
I said, she is out there.
Having a ball. She said, I have another book. I wrote it in high school. Will you publish it? I said, sure. So she sent it to me. And I said, Sherry, I'm sending you the cover. Now understand, the front of the cover is that way for a reason. The back cover is that way for a reason. The book is called Under the Dragon's Eye. No, it's not about dragons. But this dragon's eye plays a very important part in the book. Well, on the back of the cover is a dragon and a bowling alley sign. And you're going, what? How do these two blend together? When you read the synopsis, you find out. So now she is doing a sequel to this book because people want to know more about the strong women in this book that have solved the problem. She trusted the process. And look at her go.
I looked at her pictures on her Facebook page from before she published Chocolate Lover's Garden and now. And it's like two complete different people. And anybody who's been watching this podcast for more than a minute, knows that I understand what it's like to look like two different people. I mean, for the last 10 years, I've had hair every color under the sun. There was one point where my hair matched, talk about your carpet matching the drapes. My hair actually matched my curtains behind me, and I blended in. It was kind of surreal. But now I'm going back to my roots. I'm going back to the blonde that I have been most of my life because I am not the same person that I was 10 years ago. And it's okay to reinvent yourself.
Absolutely.
It's okay to stand up on the soapbox or knock somebody else off of their soapbox if you have to and say, look at me, world. Here's who I am. This is what I've done. Notice me.
Exactly.
And especially women of a certain age kind of become invisible.
Yep.
We've been told so much of our life, shh, ladies, don't talk like that. Don't use that language. Don't wear that color lipstick. Don't paint your nails. Don't wear purple, whatever it happens to be. And if you remember at the, back in, I guess, the 80s or 90s maybe, when the Red Hat Society started, it was because of a poem that a woman wrote when she was in her 60s. And it was basically, when I'm older, I will wear purple.
Yep.
And with a red hat and blah, 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 blah. But it was about being authentic, being true to yourself. And I don't know, well, maybe when you were a child, Yvonne, you had a problem with that. But ever since I've known you, and I've known you for almost a quarter of a century now, you've always been Yvonne. You've always been, as Dale and I were talking about you to somebody recently, and I said, well, she's like 4'11". You might weigh 90 pounds soaking wet. And Dale said, yeah, but she's got a 9-foot personality.
Hadn't always been that way.
Yeah. And we've had our moments of people pushing, and see, that's why that teacher in the 6th grade kept making you rewrite that, because you were right and you showed her that you did have an opinion.
And she didn't like it.
And she didn't like your opinion not matching hers.
Correct.
So she had that position of authority. She had to push you down and push you down. And so many people, not just women, but primarily girls and women, are told that's not appropriate. You can't do that. Now, I'm not saying to do anything that's illegal or to do anything that's going to land you in, the moral police jail. But don't be afraid to be bold. Don't be afraid to wear the glasses. My husband calls these Harry Carey glasses because the sports reporter Harry Carey wore glasses similar to this. I'm looking for more outrageous things to do every day that say, here I am. But I don't have to be outrageous. I've spent, people who don't know me, people who did not know me before I moved to Florida would never believe that I used to be a wallflower. I blended into the background. I was the good girl. I was quiet. I never got in trouble. And if I ever did anything deliberately on the edge, I was scared to death. Scared to death that I was going to get found out. That they would realize there was a rebel in there. And I didn't want that.
I stayed in trouble.
Now,
I tried to be a rebel and kept getting
well,
pushed.
now I am rebelling. I'm rebelling against who I used to be. And I'm saying, goodbye, little girl. I don't need you anymore. I don't need you to protect me. I don't need the persona of who I used to be. And that's one of the reasons I love writing. Because I can write whatever I want. And it's okay.
And if you notice,
my older sister.
I put up on the Midnight Publishing page constant reminders that we can be enough.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
women, especially, and there are some men too, but mostly women, especially of our generation, were given a directive from the birth. This is how you
Yeah.
behave. Don't step off of this line, because if you do, you become the scarlet woman. You become the one nobody wants to like. You become the one no man wants to marry because he can't keep you barefoot pregnant in the kitchen. You can't be you. And I
I don't
refuse
know
to.
how to be anybody but me.
It took me a long time, Mary, because I tried to be a different person to everybody, and I lost me in the process.
We tend to be people pleasers.
Yeah, and I'm done with that. The only person I have to please is God above and
And
myself.
I remember having a conversation with God uh, about 6 months ago, I guess, because I'm having all these ideas. I want to do a sequel to Steep Steps. I've got a book about, I'm just calling it Cruise America. That's not it at all. It's about human trafficking. Um, I've got a script I want to write. I've got umpteen children's books, and I don't know how many umpteen collections of short stories about various things. And I want to do them, and as I'm working on these things that I want to do, I get an idea. I mean, like
Mhm.
this Sharks Bite and Writers Write. And I've got another one called Too Many Rules that I'm working on. It's about stranger danger. And somebody reached out to me the other day and asked me if I could help her write a book. I'm like, I don't co-author anymore. I tried that about 3 times 20 years ago, and it's just so much trouble. No. But I said, no, but I do have an idea that I'd like to do, and I may give you credit for it. But I got all these ideas that keep coming in and getting in the way of the ones I want to do. So I sat down with God one day. Actually, I was walking through the house, and then I just kind of stopped, and I'm like, look, you keep giving me these ideas, and you're telling me to do this and do that and paint this and draw that and write this. Dude, you gotta make me live to be 137 and be healthy to get it all done. Yvonne, he laughed just like you did. And then he said, you have all the time you need.
And that is true. That is very
And,
true.
and, then, and then he said, don't squander it. Ah! I work from the moment I get up to the moment I go to bed. If I'm watching television, it is usually because I am just too tired to think anymore. Somebody asked me, "What do you, oh, I know. I was being interviewed through email, and they asked me how I balance all the things that I do: editing, writing, photography, illustrating. How do you balance all that?" And fortunately, they're all creative endeavors. So if I get tired of writing, and I do sometimes, or the words just won't come, that's when I stop and I go do something else creative. And if I still can't get that out of my head, that's when I do housework.
It's a great stress reliever.
It's a good stress reliever, and it gets your mind off of the creativity, but it also helps you unclutter your mind. If you have a cluttered house, your brain is going to be cluttered.
Well, and you are just dealing with your stuff.
Yeah.
Imagine the publishing house. I'm writing 2 books, the sequel to Murder in the Village and the formulation of Fantasy Forest, which is, it's going to be a series because it goes in so many different directions. Then on top of that, the other books coming to my head with the characters going, okay, you need to promote me this way, you need to promote, and I'm going, oh sweet Jesus, take the wheel.
And
I'm
that's
not.
something else I wanted to bring up. I mean, there is no other publisher in the world that I know of that will create videos for her authors and promote them. And you don't just promote them on one page, you put
Mm-mm.
them everywhere. But
Everywhere.
also, and this is so special to me. I I post a lot, folks. I really do. I post 3 to 4 times a day on 4 different platforms. Or is it 5? Um, but if I post something and Yvonne sees it, she snags it and she reposts it for me.
Everywhere.
So it's also getting momentum, not just on my site, but on hers, where she's got thousands and thousands of followers. So if you, and, and it's not just that she does it for me, she is cross promoting all of her authors as long as they're promoting something other than, oh, look what I had for breakfast.
Exactly.
You
Speaking
know,
of,
I went to the coffee shop this morning and I wrote, "Oh, who cares? Show me something. Give me something of substance." I've been really hard promoting Steep Steps. It comes out on October 27th.
mhm,
And yes, I published this book a year ago. In fact, a year and a day. It released on October 26th last year, and now it's coming out on the
and
27th.
I did not know that.
And yes, I know you did. But this is how God works. He keeps things in the serendipity stage. But I have been really promoting and promoting and promoting. I put early reviews out there. I put things from the forward from this amazing sex therapist in Australia who just glommed onto my book. I post excerpts from the book, and I post things that are important for you to know, like it's a fiction. If it resembles anybody in your real life, oops,
Oops,
it
sorry about
wasn't intentional. But every one of those that I post, Yvonne snags them and she's posting them. So, other midnight publishing authors, I am talking to you. Post things about your books. I know Sherry Ann does. Um, Andrea does.
that. Hmm.
Um, and there's one other I can't think right now. But somebody else is out there doing it.
Speaking of
Um,
Sherry Ann, I got to go back to Sherry Ann for a minute. Yesterday, I went on the website to put up the live, and there was a comment under Sherry Ann's one of Sherry Ann's posts that I had put up. In fact, the comment was under the post where Sherry Ann had announced to the world that the Chocolate Lover's Garden, is now up on the national, notice the word, National Gardening Bureau's website.
wow.
So I posted that on the website as a post. And yesterday, when I went in to put the live up, one of the people that runs that website, her name is Gail, put a comment up that Sherry hadn't even seen yet. That she was very proud and honored to have that book on their website. So I immediately took it over to Midnight Publishing, and I thought Sherry was going to cry. She said, Yvonne, how can I go comment to Gail? I said, just go make the comment. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you think that you're not getting exposure, trust me, you are. We are seen on that website in countries all over the world. We are up to almost 900 viewers. We were up to 1,400 views. We're up to 900 visitors. We're up to 1,400 views. And every day something new goes up there. When I get a new author, they immediately have their own page on the very front of the website. So when you pull up the website, you see all these authors. You click on their name, they come up. You don't have to go hunting for them. They're there.
Oh, I wanted to ask you,
Yes.
would you repost the thing about the link tree? I was looking for it yesterday and couldn't find it.
Sure.
And
Oh, that's a
if you'll
new,
post
that's
that,
a new,
maybe we need to pin it at the top. I don't know,
we can do that. And that's
but
another thing
you
we
know,
did. We,
yeah.
I built Linktree. All of the books are up there.
I
That
have
took,
never built myself a link tree because it takes too much time.
it does take time. But it's so worth it because that apparently is the new social media for the younger folks, for the quote unquote more savvy tech folks. Well, this old white woman stays up with tech savvy. You're not going to see me not trying something because
Well,
that's
the
what.
link tree is it's just links. It's
Uh-huh.
not graphics. And this is for the people who don't want to be bogged down with a bunch of pictures they've got to sort through. They want the information. And I
Information
love it. And
highway.
I was going to refer to that and cross promote it, but I couldn't find it. And I'm like, well, I'll just ask her to do it again.
I'll pin when I go back into the site. I'll pin it and I'll tag you in it,
Okay, thank you.
and that way you can see. And this is what we
Oh,
do.
yeah, that's another thing. Whenever she cross promotes her authors, she tags us so we know,
Hmm.
and then we can then recross and promote her as well. And she's not doing it for herself; she's doing it for us.
Yes, because my authors are so important to me. I want each of you to understand that my authors are like my children, and that
Sorry, Brandy.
I will go to the wall for them. I will help them, I will encourage them, but I will also, and my children will tell you, if I don't think what they're doing is quite right, I'll call them out on it. I
Oh
am
yes,
I don't believe in sugarcoating bullshit because it's still bullshit.
I still sting a little bit from the first time you said, "Well, Mary, I can do it your way. Do you want to stand out or do you want to blend in?" And I'm like, "Have you seen me lately? Do I look like I want to blend in? No, I want it from the megaphone. I want it from, the top of the world.
But I gave you the option,
You gave me the option. I could choose my way
or
or
the
the better way."
or standing out. And understand this, folks. There's always an option. You always have an option. If you choose that option, then there are consequences.
Yes.
Just saying, there are consequences. I'll do it your way. But it's like I tell
Well,
my
it was
children.
it was faith and folly, I think, that we were discussing. And if we had done it my way, I probably wouldn't have gotten a single sale from it. And
Just
now it's
saying.
selling.
Because
You
that
know,
cover is unique.
yeah.
And
I
that's what
remember
that's you remember?
I remember once I worked for a newspaper and I was the managing editor. So I was constantly talking about my writers. I love my writers this, I love my writers that, I want to make sure my writers understand, blah, blah, blah. And the publisher came to me and she goes, "Excuse me, I believe they're my writers?" And I thought, the audacity. Because I call them my writers too here at Midnight Publishing.
Do. And I'm grateful for that because they are.
They,
We're in this
they,
together.
we're a family here.
Yes, we
And,
are.
and this family is growing. And y'all, I come from a family of 8 children. I know what a big family is. It is nothing but a chaotic mass of love. It might express itself differently than what you think it should be, but as you get older, you realize, well, hey, everybody's doing the best they can. And Yvonne is the matriarch of this particular family, and she enfolds us, and she's like a mother hen, or a big old swan. She puts us under her wings, lets us ride on her back. But she'll knock us into the water when it's time to learn how to swim, let me tell you.
And it's done with love, y'all. Trust me, it is not done out of vengeance or jealousy or any of the negative that you find yourself getting into out there. All I want is for the authors to succeed. And when I see things like Mary's book, Faith and Folly, it's already selling. Mercenary Files, it's already selling on Kindle pre order. Errol's Journey is already selling on Kindle's pre order. This is for y'all. I could go back to doing what I do and just have a couple of my little friends under my wing. And I could go back to writing full time and just publishing my own books, but that's not what I want. That's not my desire because God gave me the opportunity, the ability, the stamina, the tenacity, the stubbornness, sometimes the stupidity, the 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 network, the
And the
ability
know-how.
and the know-how, the ability to take new technology and bring it into what we do here. When I was sitting at the hospital waiting room on Monday while my friend was having bilateral hip surgery, I had already been on this particular site to do steels and to play with it to see what I could do with it. And that was with Fantasy Forest. And then this morning I'm thinking, well, actually yesterday when I was letting my brain rest, I put up some more stuff for Andrea for the Mercenary Files. Then this morning, after I got up and got going, I thought, let me just start with Delilah, the flamingo in her Christmas town. Made a little short video, put it up there, popped it up there, told when it was going to go live. Then I started with Sally's Heart, which I thought Mary was going to come through the computer when she saw it.
Oh my heavens to Betsy.
Um,
I just cried.
my
It's
angel
so
book,
beautiful.
which I was waiting on her to just say, okay, I can't anymore. The tears are falling. Then I did Cornfield Flyers of East Tennessee. Then I went back and did Where's Wags. Then I did Errol's Journey, and
That one got.
it's all going up on YouTube in these 10-second blurbs, and then it's going on the page as on the website as post. It's already been reposted on other pages within our realm. It will go on Blue Sky. It will go on Instagram. It will go on Threads. It will go on the one I can't remember, but I've got it bookmarked. It will go on all of those.
Mastodon.
Mastodon. So remember, and this is going to segue into our next segment. Remember, we've traveled this journey. Mary and I both were publishing books when there was nothing to promote them with. Literally,
Yeah.
I started with MySpace. That's how far back I go. And I had another author who's my cousin saying, not the cousin I'm publishing now, but another. I don't want my face out there. I don't want my name out there. Well, how in the name of all creation are you going to sell your book?
Well, then
Really?
they better get a pseudonym and a screen over their face.
Or something. So I'm good.
That to me does not make sense. Now I know that Nora Roberts has written under the name R.E. Rob or something like
Yeah,
that.
Ari
Something,
Robb.
and it's because it's a different genre.
Correct.
And there was a time I picked out a pseudonym for myself. I was going to be Catherine Kenwood, and I was going to write erotica because somebody asked me, "Why don't you write erotica?" It became more trouble than being erotic. I'd rather keep my erotica inside, let it simmer, and use it at home. I don't need to write that. And I don't need a different name for every genre I write. Currently, I'm writing on 4 different genres: memoir, fiction, um,
Children.
how to, I guess you'd call it, and children's books. And I do intend at some point to dabble in sci-fi. I've got an idea, got to figure out how to do it, but I don't know. It'll work out when it works out. I can't worry about the how-tos anymore
All in God's time.
because, once I turned 70, which was early this year, I realized that I have likely lived the majority of my life already. It's not likely that I'm going to live to be 137,
It could
which would
happen.
make me middle-aged right now. I'm in the fall of my life, if not the winter. And time is precious because it takes physical time to do the things that have to be done to get your books out there.
So
And
let's
I just
segue.
want to encourage everybody, don't wait.
Don't
You've
wait.
got a story, let's get it going.
And don't let the saboteurs out there steal your dream, because
No,
they
and I
have
don't
a
care if they're
dream.
your best friend or some stranger who sends you this flowery email and says, "Oh, I love your books." No, you don't.
Because,
You don't know them.
because there are scammers and there are pirates out there. My cousin was talking to her IT person, and he said, "Oh, you need to get on BookBub because it has all these algorithms." Well, he's talking as an IT person. She asked me, and I went, and I knew the name rang a bell. I went and looked, and I went back to her. I said, "No, Linda, honey, no, no, because number one, what these people do, what these companies do, is they go and they download your book. They download it as an ebook. They download it as an audible. Then they turn around and they have the masses who think they're getting a deal sign up for their website, and you can order books discounted or free. We lose money when people do that. Then you have pirates out there, and there's also a app that you can put on your phone, that you just take that app and you put it over the cover of the book using your phone, and the book downloads for nothing. It's a
Oh
pirate.
my.
Yes. So understand that when you're approached by people that Mary and I get approached by all the time, "Oh, we just love your book," go spam, unsubscribe, block, do whatever you need to do, because they are not here to help you. They are here to line their pockets. There are pirating sites out there that have downloaded all of my books. There's so many I can't keep up. And they're giving them away for free if you join for X amount of dollars for a year. They're doing them as deep discounts. Our books are very, very reasonable, and I do that for a reason. That Ken Follett book that Mary showed you, that's 900 pages, I guarantee you that's a $35 book, easy.
Found it in my little free library.
There you go, because somebody passed it forward. But
Yeah.
anytime you get an email or you get something on your Facebook page, "Oh, I can make you famous." Honey, you're already famous. We've done it
You
here.
know, if we here where we live, we get solicitors constantly. I don't answer the door anymore. We have a sign: no trespassing, no soliciting. But they still come and they leave their business cards. We're going to put solar panels on your roof. We're going to re-roof your house for free. Only your insurance company pays. Well, that's a scam and a half. Let us do your yard work. You need somebody to trim your trees. Blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. My husband and I both have a theory about this. If we want your services, we will find you.
Exactly.
And I feel that way about my books. I feel that way. I mean, if somebody came to my door with a bunch of clothing on it, had a rack, and they, "Hey, I'd like to sell you these dresses or these shirts or these pants for discount, blah, blah, blah." well, where did they come from? What are you doing with them? How did you get them? Don't worry about that. It's real cheap. If I want to buy a dress, a necklace, a earring, whatever, I'm going to go shopping for it. In fact, my husband and I were recently looking at furniture, and we were looking at it online. And I said, now we know what we want. Let's go to the store and see if it really matches what we think it looks like. Because a lot of times things don't look the same as they do online versus, and
In
it's the
real life.
same way with these author services. Sure, you found me. Now buy my book and leave a review. That's how you can help me. And half of these emails say we can get you bona fide reviewers. The newest one I've seen was about, I own or I manage a book club. They're all in England for some reason. I manage a book club in London or Norwich or wherever. And we have always 1,500 members. That's 1,500 potential buyers for my book. And all I need you to do is give me X amount of dollars and I'll give you, blah, 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 you'll be our featured author. No, if you really like my book, then tell your readers to go buy it now and then leave a review, and then they can do whatever they want to in their little club. But I'm not paying you. I don't have the money. Somebody told me that they would illustrate my book for me for like $3,000, my next book. And I said, well, I'm going to have to sell a lot of my first book before I can afford $3,000.
And not
There are
not
other
only
ways.
not only can they not produce the product, but 99.99% of the emails that you and I both get are scammers.
Yep.
You send me X amount of dollars, I'll do this. You send them X amount of dollars and you never hear from them again. So you
No,
can,
and then when you try to find them,
the
they
go.
never existed. The
Exactly.
email account has been closed. They don't have a website anymore. Oh, I had someone reach out to me. She's an English writer. She had a link to her book, and she said, I'd love to connect writer to writer. And right off the bat, my hackles went up. And I said, let's just cut to the chase here, because I know I'll spend an hour or two for a couple of weeks talking with you, and then you're going to hit me with your sales approach. And she said, Mary, I am sorry that you feel that way. I really was just looking for genuine connection. And I said, well, I apologize if I hurt your feelings. I didn't intend to. I said, but I have been addressed by so many people who have tried to scam me, tried to spam me. Just, I can't wait for them to drop the sales pitch. She said, no sales pitch. I just genuinely want to know more about you. So I said, okay, well, we'll see where this goes. So I responded and had a nice conversation. So far it's been good, but we'll see. She might be, she asked for links to all my books. I have about 15 different links, not just to books, but to other things. I just gave her all my links. We'll see what she does when she finishes going through them.
If she does.
If she does.
So, if to all the authors that are now in this family or are thinking about coming within this family, if you get an email, if you get a private message, if you get a phone call,
Or if your
And-
IT guy tells you to.
yeah, come to me, come to Mary, because we've already been down. I was scammed by a publisher when I first started. He took there were 7 of us in his stable. He took all of our royalties, left his wife, moved to Michigan with my PA.
Oh.
Yeah. So I said, once burned, twice shy, never again. And as far as I know, he set up shop in Michigan and is probably scamming other authors.
Unbelievable.
So
Unbelievable.
I didn't get here without pitfalls. I didn't get here without having that experience. Last week, Mary and I talked about paying someone to do your audibles. I have 3 books I can't get back because they won't respond, and I pay good money for them to do audibles, and I had to change the title on 3 of my books so I could get them on Audible so they would all show up under the same title when you click on the
Ah,
books. And they're not advertising, they're not promoting, they're not doing anything with those audibles, but they were paid. And they used more than one person to do one. I think one of my books cost me close to $1,000 because she used 3 different people to read the book.
uh-huh. Which would be nice if she delivered.
Exactly. So this is why I use AI for our audibles. I would rather use AI, know what we're getting. It doesn't cost the author anything, and they AI is what's the word I'm looking for? Is maturing to the point that they're wonderful. I
You have
cannot.
different options. They're
Yet
not all going to sound like the same voice,
no.
and you
You.
can choose. And I
I got
know
British.
when you get ready to upload Steep Steps to that, I definitely think I want a male
Of
narrator.
course you do. Do you want a
Yeah.
Southern male?
No,
Do you want just
no.
you want a British male?
I think Midwest. Either
Okay,
Midwest or West Coast.
okay. Well, the ones that just say male voice, those are the more Midwest, West Coast
They're like
type of.
newscasters.
Yeah. See how we fix that? We cannot put up Audible on the children's books because Audible requires chapters. And children's books, as a general rule, don't have chapters. However, when you go into the next age bracket, let's say 10 to young adult, you can
10
put
to, I'd
those
say 10 to 15.
10 to you put those in chapters, and I can get them on. Because what I do
Yep.
is when the
Little
Kindle
chapter books.
version goes live, I go into the Audible side. It pulls off from the Kindle version, which has the chapters. It can be chapter 1, chapter 2. It doesn't have to have a name behind it. Pulls off of the Kindle version and creates the Audible. It's simple, it's easy, and it's usually up within 24 hours. We have been selling Audible books, believe it or not.
Nice.
You know, God's just so good to us. He is just amazing. I also, when I put the books up, I flag the books to where there's a thing that says, "Do you want?" It's not limited distribution, but I tag that where it says to help us keep who can reproduce the books. So I that's something new they just started. So I flag that. Yeah, red flag them if they try to reproduce the book. Red flag them because I don't want the authors to be hurt in any way by nefarious
No.
actors. You want
That's good that they now have that out there.
yes. So everybody gets that. Yeah, flag them. If you happen to see your book on a pirating site,
Report it.
report it. Demand they take it down. Keep a record of it, and we'll start blasting them on social media. I do that very well, extremely well. So just nobody asked you. Lenny's putting his 2 cents worth.
That was the punctuation to what we were talking about.
The exclamation point to this conversation.
He was agreeing with us.
Absolutely. And authors, I know you're excited. Honey, I've been there. Mary's been there. We know how exciting it is to hold that book, to want it out there, to want people to see it, to want it to be promoted. We do that, but you have to help us.
You have to do your part.
you have to say, okay, if I say share this with all of your network, you have a higher network than you know. Well, I've only got 24 friends. Those 24 friends will tell 24 more or 50 more.
Yeah. And even if only one of your 24 friends tells one more person, by the time that one person tells one person tells one person, I heard watched a video this morning about manifesting and whatnot, and the facilitator said, you know, if I gave you, and he pointed to a guy, a $1 bill, and you passed it around this room, before we end this day, you keep passing that $1 bill all around this room, we will have sold or used $1,000,000. That $1 bill has a potential to be exponential. And we have to do our part. I can tell you, because like I said, Yvonne and I both have gone the route of trying to get on Random House or whatever. It's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. But you have to find an agent, and you have to seduce this agent to want to even bother to read your book. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and I will never forget. I was doing this with Steep Steps before, well, after I published it myself, and I kept getting rejection, and Curtis said, "You've got more valuable things to do with your time, and your time is worth more than just constantly getting rejected." And that was what sold me on Yvonne, because she mimicked Curtis's message to me, almost verbatim. Why are you putting yourself through this? Just let me do it for you. But when you reach out to these agents and publishers, because you can get a publisher that doesn't require an agent, almost without a doubt, every one of them is going to ask you for your marketing plan. Now, with Midnight Publishing, you don't need a marketing plan. We have one. It's called Yvonne Mason. She markets our books as if they were her firstborn child going off to kindergarten. Look how precious he is. He's so smart. Look at this baby of mine. And she doesn't shy back or hold back a bit when it's time to promote her authors. But you have to give her something to promote. You can't just give her the book cover and say, okay, now promote me. You have to keep putting out your own content so she can share it. Because she will make up her own things, like she's been doing videos like crazy for us today, but she's not going to dig into your book and come up with excerpts. Well, maybe she will, because you got
I
that
have
on
been
your
known
website.
to do that. Yeah, I have done that.
I've seen that on the website. So I'm really talking out of my ears right now instead of my mouth. But I'm just saying, help Yvonne help you. And help me. Because if I see your stuff, I'm going to share it too. I've got to go share all these videos now because it's too crazy impressions. They're insanely. I'm thinking about Errol's journey, and there are no words. There are sound effects. There are no words. The only thing that I could think that you could do to help us a little more, Yvonne, would be if somehow you could put the title of the book on one of those slides.
I will try that. I will try that.
See if you can, if you could,
Because
or maybe impose the cover of the book somehow at the end.
with this program, it's an
It may
AI
not be
program.
possible.
It's an AI program, and what I do is I give a general direction of what I want in a still. Then it gives me all of these stills that I scroll down through to see which one is going to best suit what I'm trying to do. Then I click on it and it says, okay, add to the video. So then I tell it, I give it a direction of what I want it to do. And if it misunderstands the direction, I have to go out and take that direction out and put in a new direction. And sometimes
Yeah.
it takes, and then I have to re-upload the video to see if it's doing what I want it to do. If it's still not doing it, then I go back and I redirect it, like redirecting a child out of the middle of the street 4 or 5 times, and re-upload the video. I am not sure that it will take the title, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to try.
Yeah. I mean, if it works, great. If not, do writers, when you see your video, do what I do. I shared it from Yvonne's page. I only had time this morning before the podcast to share mine too. And then I immediately went in and I put a comment and I put the cover of the book, because like she said about Silent Scream, you go type in Silent Scream and maybe you forget Yvonne Mason's name. I don't know how you would do that, but it could happen. And you buy a book and you're like, oh, this isn't the book I
That's
was
in the book.
looking for. So I'm putting the cover of my books with a little intro down as a comment. And I'm going to do that for all of our authors.
And that may be the way we have to go, because when that
Yeah.
when that video comes up, Facebook's algorithm doesn't see a video and a book cover. If I
Right.
put a video up, it can only be the video, because you want that in your face. So the comments section is where to put the book covers.
Yep.
And understand, ladies and gentlemen, these videos, when I do them, they start the story. Like I said, when Mary sells Sally's heart, and if you haven't seen the video, and
It took Mary's heart away.
it when I was doing it, when I was creating it, I had to keep giving it direction of what I wanted to happen. Well, when I finally gave it the right direction, and that child gets up out of the wheelchair and walks towards the sun with Mary, with the other girl holding the heart, it's like the two became one.
And that's the story of Sally's heart,
Right.
because it's about organ transplants, about hearts, and it's how, I mean, it was inspired by my own cousin's heart transplant, and it's, Yvonne's granddaughter's parents, when Blessed Ramonda passed away, she just celebrated a birthday recently.
Yesterday. Day
But
before
when
yesterday.
Ramonda passed on, her parents didn't say, "Oh, Carrie made everything. I'm gonna just no." They said, "Let's donate her organs. See if we can help somebody else." There is a child walking around now who's now an adult because she has Ramonda's heart. And my cousin is a grandmother. She didn't think she could even become a mother because her heart was so badly damaged, and they warned her against getting pregnant. But she had 2 children, and each one she thought, this will be the one that takes me out of here.
And it
But I've
was.
got to have this baby. And now she's got 2 pre-teenage grandsons. She's lived more than 20 years with someone else's heart inside her. And that's what Sally's heart's all about.
And what people don't understand is when there is an organ donation, part of that organ donor's DNA becomes part of that other person. So what I tell people is, I have a granddaughter, I have other relatives, because we donated what we could of Ramonda, that we've never met, because Ramonda's organs became a part of their DNA, and they became a part of our DNA. And there is nothing more fulfilling. And when my daughter told me that they were going to donate Ramonda's organs, she says, "Mama, you're in charge. You get to come and deal with all these other people." I said, "Not a problem." put them in their place real quick. But it is the most unselfish gift that you can give.
It is.
And because it gives, I told Brandy, I said, we had Ramonda for 13 years. And while she didn't grow up, grow old, have children, yada, 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 it wasn't the amount of time that we did not have her. It was the quality of time we had her. And that
I will.
God
I will
put her
never.
that length of time for a
Yeah.
reason. And that was he had a plan for this other child who was 12
Yeah.
at the time.
And one organ donor can affect almost, I think it's 72 different lives.
Yeah.
It can, a single organ donor can save 8 lives. That's with the major organs. But then there are other organs, like your skin is an organ,
Bone,
your eyes
muscle,
are organs.
eyes.
All of these things can be transplanted to other people. You can help a burn victim. You can help someone like my cousin who had a enlarged heart. So there's so many different ways that you can help somebody through organ donation. The chances of my organs still being viable are slim because I'm older. But did you know, you probably knew this, Yvonne, the majority of organ donors are motorcycle riders.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is because the motorcycle accident is so quick and usually it's deadly, but most of the riders are younger people. And the younger the organ, the more opportunity it has to live long and prosper, like Star Trek. But
So the video shows the child in the wheelchair being handed the heart by Sally, and the child getting up out of the wheelchair, and both of them walking into the sunset. And like I said, I thought Mary was going to come through the computer when she saw that. But it's a powerful video.
it is.
It starts the story of Sally's heart. And it's very important, and I know Mary will concur on this. 99% of the population are visually inspired.
Yeah.
They're not analytical, they're not audio audibly inspired. They are visually inspired. And if they see something visually, it sticks. That's why when you're in sales, you say it, you write it, you say it, you write it, you say it, you write it. Because people, if you say it to them, forget it.
Yeah.
It's not important. If they see it, it strikes a nerve.
And these videos are very powerful. I encourage you all, go to Midnight Publishing and look at the most recent post. You'll see all the videos. Each one is no more than 10 seconds. So you could watch 6 of them in a minute.
Mm-hmm. And there's more to come.
Yeah. And they are inspired and inspiring. I mean,
And with
Sally's
that,
Heart just, I thought Sally's Heart was the best one until I saw Errol's Journey. Then I'm like, oh my.
did you see
And
the
the
little,
sound that she puts behind it, the sound effects make it amazing.
did you notice the woman's face as she reaches out and he starts walking away from her?
I didn't have time to see all of that. I just saw it and I heard it briefly because we were watching. We were
Right.
already on the video. But I'm going back and I'm going to watch them all again.
You will,
And I
the
saw the
woman's,
cornfield flyers, but I wasn't able to turn on the sound.
right.
But I will watch it in a
When you
minute.
will, you will. And my little wizard that I created yesterday, and he's doing this number,
The
and
little
it's like,
frog
oh.
wizard.
And then when he's with the dragon, and the dragon's going, because the wizard, she's wanting him to go with her to the castle because they got things to do, and he's going, oh no, goodbye, and he's gone. So again, I started playing with this in a hospital waiting room,
I love it.
and this is what I say: you can write anywhere, you can create anywhere. If you got to wait to have your car serviced,
And let me
you
tell
don't
you,
limit yourself.
I have always been a proponent of taking a notepad and pen with you wherever you go. And I try to, but some occasions are not applicable. You know, you just don't want to carry a bunch of stuff with you. Everybody has a cell phone. Almost everybody has a smartphone. Almost every smartphone has a notepad or some kind of writing device on it. And if you don't, you have your email.
Well, you
Go
know
to
that
your email and write what you want to write to yourself
to yourself.
or keep it as a draft. In fact, I was talking with Dale Veely recently because we were discussing, he came to visit me at my book event that I went to last weekend, whatever. Anyway, he and I were just talking books as we always do. And I asked him, how's the book coming? Because Yvonne's getting impatient. She wants to read it. She wants to publish it. Come on, man. Let's
We're getting to
go.
the silly season.
So he was, yes, and that's another reason to get all your books out because people are buying books and they love to buy brand new books for
Yep.
Christmas. We're in the middle of Hanukkah right now, but I think we could still get some Hanukkah gifts out there. And Kwanzaa comes right after Christmas. But Dale writes all of his books by longhand. That's how his brain works. That's great. And then he takes them, and when he has time, I think he may be a hunt and pecker. I'm not sure, but he has to take his notes and then transcribe them into his computer. And he said, I wish I had a secretary, you know, like the old-fashioned secretary could take my dictation and turn it into notes. I said, you do?
Mm-hmm.
He says, I don't think so.
On your
I
computer.
said, I said, let me see your smartphone. I said, yeah, you got it. You got Gmail. All you have to do is open up Gmail and tell it talk to text, and just read your writing to yourself, and it will text it as an email. It might not text all your words perfectly. You have to learn to enunciate. And like any other AI program, which is what this is, you have to teach it over
Yes.
time. If it gets a word wrong, you have to learn. You have to learn, especially some of us from the South. Oh my Lord, you can't talk like this because it throws all those syllables out there and it just messes everything up.
You got to enunciate
You
and
must
pronounce.
enunciate, you must be articulate.
Articulate.
And if you have a word like articulate, you may need to say it articulate so the computer actually understands what you're saying. But it's enough to give you an idea, and it's enough to get most of your typing done for you. And a lot of people don't like to actually write. They'd rather talk. I don't know anybody like that. But when it comes to writing my words, my books, I am a keyboard person. I sit down at my keyboard, the words just go. But there are times that I've got an idea and I've got a minute and I've got my phone. So I'll just say text, talk to text, and I'll send myself a draft email of what I'm thinking. And it's enough that when I get home and I have a chance to look at it, I can go from there. There are a lot of different ways to write what you need. It's about expressing, getting it out,
No.
getting your story out.
Well, that's how the Pink Canary started. I was on my way to the airport with my friend Janet Johnson to take her to the airport, and she's typing to her husband, I just saw a pink Camaro, and she started laughing. I said, what are you so funny? She said, well, I was texting Scott that I saw a pink Camaro, and it came out Pink Canary. Well, then all of a sudden, here comes the characters. I said, here's my phone.
Oh,
Type as I talk. Take dictation. So that's how the Pink Canary came to be. Lola is based off of a mistyped sentence, misunderstood sentence going to a text message to Janet's husband.
I love it. I love it.
That's how the
And
Queens came about.
Curtis, Curtis asked me a couple of days ago, how are you coming on your sequel to Steve Stabs? I said, Gloria has gone silent right now. He goes, what? Who's Gloria? I said, you don't remember Jim's daughter on the dance floor? He goes, oh, oh.
Oh,
What do you mean she's gone silent? I said, I think I've written 2 chapters, or I've completed one, started the second one, but then it's like nothing's happening because I've got to get these children's books out. They have to come out. They have to come out. They have to come out. And I've got a commissioned painting I need to finish. I'll get to it when I get to it. She knows, she's patient, she's understanding, and I appreciate that. But I cannot start this sequel until the characters come forward. And Curtis said, well, should we do a brainstorm session? No, that's not how I work. That's not how I write. But that's okay. I appreciate his offer. And if he wants to brainstorm with me, I will take that, and I will take notes and hope for the best. And it could happen. But you know, it's amazing how we all have our different processes on how we write. I'd say at least 6 people asked me to write a book about my writing process, and I'm like, oh, you don't want to go there.
everybody's writing process is different. What works for me may not work for Mary or work for anyone else. What works for Mary may not work for you. You have to find your own niche. And listen, you can buy all the books in the world on writing, and there's millions of them out there. Bottom line is you have to find your own lane, what is comfortable for you. If you want to do the old school outline with Roman numerals 1, 2, 3, subtext A, B, C, subtext 1, 2, 3, that's you. You do you. Do not try to write like someone else, because you lose the essence of you in a book. And trust
Yeah,
me, ladies and gentlemen, every time we put a book out there, part of us is in that book.
absolutely.
So with that, real quick, I have to tell you, and then I have to go because I have to go bowling. When I was at the hospital sitting with my friend, another friend was sitting with me. I got him so involved in the animations, he's probably going to be part of the animation team.
I love it. I love
So
it.
excited. I said, see, you had something inside of you didn't know you had.
And so
He said,
now
I've
he's
got all
gonna have
these
to read
ideas.
all
I
the
said, write
books
them down. Yeah. So who knows? So until next time, next Wednesday, when we will be back, and who knows what
with
we'll talk
another
about.
topic.
Another topic, another day. Thank you, my darling friend, for your support, your
Yes,
love, your
ma'am.
encouragement. To all of our authors out there, please take what we say to heart with love, with a determined mind that you are successful. Do not allow external saboteurs to sabotage you internally, because you are already successful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And know
100%.
that anytime that I do what I do for you, it is in your best interest. It is to make you stand out, not blend in.
I want to add one thing we talked about, I think, prior to this podcast. Linda Ryan, new author. Forget the name of her book.
Secrets,
I'm sorry.
secrets,
Don't mean
secrets.
to. Secrets. Um, she watched our podcast last week, and she learned why we do things the way we do. And she actually apologized to Yvonne because she was beginning to have doubts that Yvonne knew what she was doing. And so she said, I get it now. So run with it, fly with it. And I want to encourage you, if you're listening to this and you have the opportunity to join us live, you can participate in our chat. And if you do, that's my job. I'm sitting here ready to chat and engage with you. But also, if you see it afterwards and you have a thought or a question, drop us a note, drop us a comment, and we will answer you at a future show. And we'll answer you in message immediately if we can.
Yeah. So until next Wednesday, of course, you see my lives every morning. So until next Wednesday, have the day you deserve. Fly, my pigeons, fly.
I like that. Have the day you deserve. So whether you are a friend, an enemy, or a frenemy of Midnight Publishing, and you know who you are, you will have the day you deserve.
Absolutely. See you next week. I love you, my friend.
I love you, Yvonne. I'm just so excited for everything. I got to go back to Midnight Publishing now and look at all the videos again and
Have
comment
fun.
on them. I
Okay.
will. I'm
Talk to
looking
you
forward to
soon.
next
Oh,
week.
are
I'm
we? Are
looking
we?
forward to tomorrow.
I'm gonna say, send me the address for that place we're going to, so I can
Yep.
leave right after I do my coffee and head your way.
I will see you tomorrow for lunch.
All right. I love you, honey.
Love you. Bye bye.
All right.